What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. This is a list I've been wanting to do for quite a while. I did it a couple years ago, and that video just wasn't in very good quality, and my list has changed since then, so I decided I was going to redo this video, and I deleted that old one. So for this list, I'm sticking with only movies. I'm not going to be doing like the Christmas specials like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty and Charlie Brown Christmas. I'm actually saving those for a different list, for maybe my top 10 favorite holiday specials. But for this list, I'm going to be doing 10 of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. This was a hard list to do because it was hard just getting 10 Christmas movies and deciding which ones not to leave on here, or not to put on here and everything. So next year, or maybe later this year, I haven't decided yet, I'm going to do I'll probably do another top 10. I might just wait and do it next year, but I haven't decided. So starting out at number 10 is Adam Sandler's 8 Crazy Nights. This one is kind of considered both a Christmas movie and a Hanukkah movie, and I just absolutely love this movie. It's just the spirit of the holidays and stuff is what makes this movie, to me, just as much a Christmas movie. It doesn't really try to be just for one and everything, but it is a lot of fun. The cast in here is great. Adam Sandler does the voice of a lot of the main characters in here. He's just absolutely hilarious, and it does have some of his potty humor and stuff that's kind of annoying, like fart and poop jokes that can kind of get annoying, but for the most part the humor in here lands for me, and it has some really catchy tunes, and it's just a really funny movie, and it's actually really, to me, kind of underrated and everything. But I really love 8 Crazy Nights, so it's number 10. And number 9 is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I just saw this movie for the first time a few years ago, and ever since then it's become one that I watch every year. Sometimes I watch it a couple times a year. It's just absolutely hilarious. John Hughes did a really great job writing this movie, and what's his name that plays Clark? Chevy Chase. He's just absolutely hilarious in this movie, and I love like the scene where he has his mental breakdown over his bonus chick. It's just absolutely hilarious, and all of the supporting cast are great. Beverly D'Angelo is once again really great in here, and Randy Quaid is great too. He's absolutely hilarious as Uncle Eddie. I think this is probably his best performance as Uncle Eddie. I liked him in the first one, but I think this is the one where he's the funniest, and it's just one of the best movies in the Vacation franchise, which I'm planning on reviewing. That's why I'm trying not to say too much about this movie, because I'm planning on doing a review for it probably here before too long. And I'm probably going to review it sometime later this week, and then do the other Vacation movie sometime maybe in January. But I just absolutely love National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's a lot of fun. So it's number 9, and number 8 is A Christmas Carol with Jim Carrey. This was one of the ones that Robert Zemeckis did, where all the characters are made with stop motion animation. So the animation is not extremely great in this movie. I agree with a lot of people, like the characters kind of look lifeless and stuff, but I just felt like this was still a lot better movie than most people give it credit for. To me, it's one of the best adaptations of the book, and like the way they made the characters look and stuff are a lot like in the illustrations of the book and everything, so I did like that. And I think all of the cast in here are great, especially Jim Carrey, who does the motion capture and the voice of Scrooge and the Three Ghosts, and Gary Oldman, who does the motion capture and voices for Bob Cratchit, Tiny Tim, and Jacob Marley. I thought that they both were really great in all of their roles. And I just really enjoy this movie. I think it's a lot better than a lot of people say it is. Um, I know there might be other versions that I might like better of this story. I haven't seen a whole lot, to be honest with you. It's always been one of those stories that, until this one came out, my favorite version was the Muppet Christmas Carol, and I do like that one quite a bit. And I almost considered putting it on here, but I decided to do this one since this one's my favorite version of this story and everything. So, A Christmas Carol is number 8, and number 7 is Jingle All The Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. This movie is just absolutely hilarious from start to finish. It's a lot of fun. Arnold's playing this dad that's trying to get this toy for his son for Christmas because he waits till the last minute, and he's keeps having all these crazy encounters with this deranged mailman, and a bunch of different goofy stuff happens throughout the whole movie. It's just a lot of fun and absolutely hilarious with a great cast, and Arnold especially is really great in here. And the ending is really cheesy, but it's just a lot of fun, and it's really great movie. So Jingle All The Way is number 7, and number 6 is The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen. I'm a pretty big fan of the first 2 Santa Claus movies. Third one's okay, but I really love this one. This one's easily my favorite, and I just the story is just really unique and a lot of fun, and the cast in here are great. Especially Tim Allen, he's just perfect as Scott Calvin, and the transformation stuff is really good. Like the visual effects hold up really well, and the makeup effects are really great, and making him look like Santa in the fat suit and everything. Just it actually looks really good, and this movie just holds up really well. It's a lot of fun, and this is the only one that was rated PG. So to me, the humor was a little bit better in this one. It kind of had a little bit of a dark humor in it too. But I've really enjoyed this movie a lot. So The Santa Claus is number 6, and number 5 is Home Alone 2: Lost in New York. This one is, and the first movie are about a tie for me, almost. I just think I like this one a tiny bit more, but I absolutely love Home Alone 2. It's a lot of fun. The cast in here are all really great, especially Macaulay Culkin, and we get a bunch of new supporting characters like Tim Curry is the manager at the hotel. He's just absolutely perfect in here, and Tim Curry makes everything a little bit better. He's just absolutely hilarious, and this movie is pretty much more of the same, though. Like it's pretty much the exact same story as the first one, except it's set in New York and everything. They don't really do anything different. They stick to the same formula in the first one, and a lot of franchises that wouldn't work on, but for some reason this one, to me, it works perfectly. Them making it just like the first one, to me, it just was a lot of fun. It follows all the same beats of the first one. He gets separated from his family. He's on his own. He has to fight the burglars. There's a person that he's scared of that he becomes friends with. Like, this movie is pretty much the exact same story as the first one, but it's just still a lot of fun. And maybe it's not quite as original as the original one was, but to me the jokes are funnier, the traps are funnier and stuff in this one, I think, because they're a lot more over the top and everything, and the slapstick humor is just, it's not for everybody, but I think it's just a lot better in this one than and the first one had a lot of really great ones too. These are 2 of my favorite Christmas movies, and I just wanted to keep one of them on here, so I just went ahead and went with the one that I feel like I like a little bit more. So Home Alone 2 is number 5, and number 4 is Elf. I actually reviewed this movie a couple days ago, and I just absolutely love this movie. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. Like I said, it's one that one of the first Christmas movies I ever really fell in love with. I went to see it opening weekend and didn't even want to see it because I thought the movie was going to be dumb, and I ended up just falling in love with it. It's become one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's one that I watch at least once a year, usually 2 or 3 times a year, and it's a great movie. It's really hard to put it at number 4, but I do feel like I like the other ones on here a little bit more. So Elf is number 4, and number 3 is Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 2000, directed by Ron Howard. This was one of the movies that I was extremely excited for as a kid. I remember when I went to see Toy Story 2 for the first time, they had the first poster hanging in the theater for the Grinch, and I just was absolutely ecstatic. How the Grinch Stole Christmas was one of my favorite books and everything, so I just was super ecstatic about it. Fortunately, I didn't get to see it for a couple of years because I had to wait till it was on video to see it, but I ended up absolutely loving The Grinch. I think it's easily one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's probably one from my childhood that I have the most nostalgia for, but it's just is a really fun movie. Jim Carrey was perfect as the Grinch, and all the sets and the costumes and makeup and stuff in this movie were really good. I don't know if it won any Oscars, but it would have deserved it for all of the hard work that went into making this movie feel like it was made in a Dr. Seuss world and everything. I thought they did a really great job on it. And it has some really great music too. I love the theme song from the movie, Where Are You Christmas? Just really good song, and the whole soundtrack has a lot of good songs on it too, and everything. So Dr. Seuss's The Grinch Stole Christmas is number 3, and number 2 is Miracle on 34th Street from 1947. I'd really done a lot of debating on whether I wanted to change this one or not when I was doing my list, because last time I did it, this was my number 1, and it is easily one of my favorite Christmas movies ever made. But the more I thought about it, the one that's at number 1, I like a little bit more. But Miracle on 34th Street is just one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. It's one that I watch every year on Thanksgiving, kind of to kick off my Christmas watching. I do watch Christmas movies sometimes in early part of Thanksgiving just because I have so many I want to watch every year, but I really don't start watching my favorite ones until after Thanksgiving, and this is always the one that kicks it off for me. And I just absolutely love this movie. The cast in here, Maureen O'Hara and John Payne, were excellent in their roles, and Edmund Gwenn is one of my favorite movies, Santa Claus. He just is so likable, and he's perfect in this role. And little Natalie Wood, when she was a kid and stuff, she was just really adorable and had a really good screen presence and everything. She grew up to be one of my favorite actresses, and I just absolutely love this movie. There's not anything about it that I don't like. Like, all of the characters are memorable and everything. Some of them are really unlikable, but they're still really memorable, and all the actors do a great job playing them. It's just a really great movie, and it's easily my favorite version I've seen of this story. I've seen the 1994 version. I didn't really like it very much, but I absolutely love this one. So Miracle on 34th Street from 1947 is number 2, and number 1 is It's a Wonderful Life. This is a movie that took me a really long time to see. I didn't see it till the first time till just a few years ago. So for a long time, I didn't really know whether I would say that I could say this or not. But the more and more I think about this movie, and every time I watch it, I just enjoy it a little bit more. And over the years, I gotta say, I've started to agree with people that this is the best Christmas movie. And it's not just the best Christmas movie to me, it's also one of the best movies ever made. It's just really great story with a great cast. James Stewart especially. He's just absolutely perfect as George Bailey, and Donna Reed was great in here, and Lionel Barrymore was great as Mr. Potter, who's really a very unlikable character, but like with Miracle on 34th Street, all the cast and characters are really memorable in this movie, and everything, even the ones that aren't very likable. It just is a great movie, and it's a masterpiece. Surprisingly, it hasn't, as far as I know, it hasn't been like full-fledged remade. I think there have been other somewhat remakes that are kind of more inspired by the movie than actual remakes, but I'm honestly surprised we haven't gotten a remake to this one yet. I really hope we never do, because there's nothing they can do to make this one better. But anyway, so It's a Wonderful Life is number 1 on my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. So let me know in the comments what your favorite Christmas movies are. If you want, you can do your top 10 or your top 5, or just tell me your favorite one. And I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll probably do some more Christmas videos. Some of these movies I'll probably do full reviews on, so if you want to hear my full thoughts on them when I do them, you can watch those videos and everything. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
Trick the halls with horse and donkey, la 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 la. Christmas time can be so